right, coming on a little bit late here. We're just finishing up kind of a discussion here to end the week. I wanted to make sure I get to all the questions in the room, but we're only like 5 minutes past the closing bell, so I'm not really that late. Let me just add on the symbols here for today's plays, and then we will get started. Okay? All right, let's get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for June 4th, 2021. Q's up 1.7 and SPY up 0.88. Coming into today, we were bullish, right? I said we can't be bearish until we take out yesterday's low, and then the next setup we can start talking about being bearish. We're still bullish otherwise. All right, still bullish. Now, I was acknowledging the hourly time frame here had lost a little bit of the bullishness, but every other time frame, daily, weekly, monthly, was still bullish. Okay, so that's why today, coming into today, still bullish, and we ended up getting a trend day. Okay, which is, we gapped up and then we just kept moving up. You can see all day, right? Moving up from the bottom left to the upper right. Some smaller pullbacks here and there, of course, that's typical for a trend day. Okay, but just bullishness in the Qs and SPY. Right? Not that surprising. Now, it's hard to know, which day is going to be the trend day. And we don't usually know until if after the first 30 minutes, we don't get a significant pullback. Okay, and you see here, we didn't. We just stayed strong, so we knew it was going to be bullish. Okay, going into next week, still bullish. Okay, bullish in the market. SPY, I guess, new highs here. Okay. We don't have anything right now to work with as far as how do we anticipate the bearishness, unless it's some large gap down, okay, that breaks on the daily here. We get a big gap down on Monday. It's unlikely, okay, but we'll deal with that if that happens. Okay, so bullish for Monday. May pause a little bit, get a little bit of a pullback just because today is a wide range bar, okay. All right, let's go over the plays from today. CRK was the starting play. Had a nice 2-minute base breakdown. Not as weak of a daily. Oh, 1-minute base breakdown. Not as nice of a daily as the TAL yesterday. TAL was much, much weaker, but these are the same plays. See this right here? This was the play on the CRK. Okay. And then here's the TAL yesterday. Okay. So much nicer daily, much better follow through. Here was the TAL yesterday. Weak, base breakdown. Okay. Look how much weaker this daily is, right? This was yesterday. So clearing the support. CRK, on the other hand, is going to be running into the support. So 580 was target one. Okay. James managed this one for you. Okay. He took the whole thing here, which ended up being the right thing to do. I ended up sticking with it, and the back half ended up trailing at break even. So you can see here. So I gave some back, ended up making kind of just a little bit on this. So if you played it with James and followed his management, it's a little bit better. I did my own just standard management. Didn't work out as well for this one. Okay. Then was the WINT. WINT played it as a breakout in the morning here. So putting all of this stuff together, and then we got triggered in, and then I killed it underneath this bar. So this ended up being a small loss here on the WINT. Okay. Broke out, kind of started to base a little bit, and then I was worried about a breakout failure. Now, it did hold the original stop, but you also could have replayed it. Okay, and I think replaying is probably the right answer here, but I did not. Okay, the target was 340 into the declining 20 MA there. You see 343, and that's where it got. But unfortunately, I was not part of it for the replay. Okay. Because I just decided, you know what, this thing's a little bit too sloppy, and I let it go. It worked. Okay. Yeah, it was just the decision that I made for this, and I kind of accepted it. So, it's going to happen. Tried it here, and the other thing was I saw it this morning too. I did a base breakout here, which I almost played, but I was actually a little bit too slow to get to. Here, you can see this base, and then it like broke out. And I was like, okay, well, I missed it. I'll play it if it gets back over that. And then it came in instead. And then I did end up playing it when it finally kind of worked its way back up. But that wasn't the right time. The right time was this third try here that finally got the follow through and got the target. Played another breakout here on the CLNY. I really like this daily. I like the weekly as well. Okay, breaking out here. And then on this, got a little bit of follow through as we broke the whole number, but then came back in and just didn't want to go. So I said, let's kill this under 48. Okay, ended up killing it at 47. So it was a tough kind of, I thought, first half of the day. For me, it doesn't mean for everybody. I think there were some other plays that were really, really nice that I missed, like the Got You here. Really nice sell setup. Okay, and let's see where this... Yeah, it gives you a pretty strong pushback there. Let's see how the hourly finished out. This is my first time kind of reviewing this one. Okay. Yeah, eventually does give the bounce back, but in the morning was really, really nice. Definitely would be out most of it by that point if you got this sell setup here. So it started off a little bit back and forth. Was up on the CRK, gave it back on the WNT, and then went down on the CLNY, and then ended up the RESN ended up being kind of the nicest play. Okay, so the RESN really nice daily here. 20 MA just starting to curl up, breaking out over this range, had already broken over this 370 area. Okay, and then we got some 5-minute breakouts. Okay, so the first one I mentioned was here, said you could play this, and then the next one I gave you numbers for was this one. Okay, all of that. So there were a couple of plays here, chances to get it, and on this, actually, is that right? 96. Yeah, 96 was the last one. The first one is actually this one here. So I thought that was okay to play. 15-minute, I think we have some 1, 2, 3s. Yeah, they just end up being like, oh, here's a 1, 2, 3, and then there 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're 1, 2, 3, 4s. Okay, on the RESN, but the primary thing is the daily. You got a weekly buy set up here and daily transition, and then I just close this at the end of the day. Okay, because they were really, really tight stops. That was the nice thing about it. Okay, this one right here was, I think, only like a 7-cent stop. 85 by 78. Okay, that was a tight stop, and then this one was 10 cents. Okay, over 96 by 86. Okay, so so that gave almost a little shy of 2 hours on that. This play, and then this play was even nicer. Okay, so that kind of saved the day there. All right, so those were the plays from today. Pretty standard stuff, except that I thought that it took a little bit longer to like get going, because there was a lot of like back and forth today until the end. So, but I think we had a good read on the market, good expectation. I like all the plays, even the ones that like the CLNY, which didn't follow through. So I'm not too bothered by those plays. It's just standard stuff. Okay, so we'll be back at it next week. Hope you have a nice weekend. Hope you had a good week. I will talk to you on Monday. Have a good weekend.